What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Wisdom Wayne podcast. I am your host, Matt Velvet, and today we are talking about enjoying the here and now. It's kind of similar to the everything is romantic idea, but a little different, and I'll explain that in just a little bit. But first, it's whiskey time. Whiskey away. So, today I have something that I've never tried before, which is a Wild Turkey Private Select Rye. I've had the Wild Turkey single barrel bourbon, but I've never had the single barrel rye, so it's pretty exciting. Got it from Foodland Farms, of course. And this is also by the Broken Barrel Club. It says 2K24. I've never seen 2024 written out like that. But that's cool. Awesome. So we're going to give this a little try. I haven't had a Wild Turkey in a while, actually. I think the last one I had was the single barrel we did at Jigs, which that was a while ago. I love these bottles, too. I made this really good video for Jigs with the Wild Turkey release. If I can find it, I'll insert that clip, but it was so funny. Nice little cork pop. Love that. Into the tasting glass. And I wasn't gonna drink tonight, but I had an eventful day, not in a bad way, but like just I had a lot on my mind. So I like doing these when things are fresh on my mind. And sometimes I forget to, or like I think of things and I forget. So I use my notes app a lot. And I wrote down my thoughts today, and I will be sharing those shortly. But first, let's go ahead and try this before I get too off track. It's also been a while since I've had a rye. Yeah. I don't think I've had a rye in a while. Jigs was always a big fan of ryes, so we had a lot at Jigs Liquor. There are some ryes that I like, but I don't like the real piney kind of tasting ones, grassy ones. So, some good flavor right on the front. You could taste some of the rice spice, but it's not too bad. Still a little sweet. I like this. This is good. I don't know if you can hear these sirens, but they're going crazy out there. I did see a car on fire today. Also, I'm jumping ahead, but on the way home today, or on the way back to the Airbnb, we saw a lady completely naked. She had like some kind of jacket thing on, but you could see everything. And it caught us off guard. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't get any tasting notes from this one. Nothing standing out super, nothing like really standing out specifically. What's the proof on this? 101 proof, okay. Well, that's good. I enjoy it. I should do like a rating system or something. Or like say if I would buy it again. I would not, this is the first one that I would not buy it again. So, sorry, but yeah. But I did go to Foodland Farms the other day, and I saw that Penelope has hit the shelves in Hawaii, which is exciting. I know a couple people that work for Penelope, Bourbon Jeeper, aka Matt, who I met with when I worked at Jigs Liquor, and was trying to convince Jigs that Penelope is going to be big and that we should go in on it, but Jigs did not listen to me, and now look at Penelope killing it. But what do I know? I'm real tapped in. I may not know all the tasting notes, but I'm tapped into the bourbon market, okay? But yeah, they're like killing it, and that one dude Ryan, who I love, he's one of my favorite whiskey creators. He's just killing it. But yeah, it's exciting. So, in the last podcast, I was talking about the dating scene in Hawaii, and that kind of leads into my experience I had today. It was actually a positive one, so that was really good. I met this guy on Tinder, and he is a military man, so I take back what I said about military men. They're not all bad. I just met the bad ones, but I met a good one today. He's bisexual and from Texas. And he drives a truck, which is a plus. And he's a gentleman, which is really hard to find in the gay community. And he was fun to hang out with. Super chill. Yeah. Just good vibes. And I had a great day, so cheers to that. Oh, also, when you're seeing this, I'll have already put out the vlog where I went to the White Lotus Resort in Maui, aka the Four Seasons. That was an experience. So if you want to see what that was like, go check out that vlog on my channel. It's already out. And tomorrow is when I'm filming this. Tomorrow will be the finale of the season 3 of the White Lotus, which is sad because the season's been really good. But we still have the Righteous Gemstones to watch. Shout out to HBO Max. They're really killing it with these shows, like the White Lotus, the Righteous Gemstones, and even the Paul American show is really good. I get so distracted so easily whenever my notifications come on while I'm filming. And like I said, I wrote some notes about how I felt after my time with this guy from Tinder. So I have so many notes on my notes app on my phone, from just random thoughts to song lyrics to I write down the date and the time I take my medications, and put yes when I take them so that I know that I take them, because I used to be so scared that I would like accidentally overdose on my medicine, and it's like, I don't know if that's like an OCD thing or what, but I have every day and time, every day, the time and every day, whatever. You know what I mean. That's one of my quirks, I guess. Okay, so let's get into this, I guess, and I will share my thoughts. So I'm just gonna read this for you. It's gonna be kind of hard with these glasses on, but it's okay. I will persevere. Why am I nervous like it's a class presentation? Okay. Enjoying the here and now. Watching the hills of long brown grass glisten in the sun as the wind makes them dance. Seeing the crystal blue water crash against the black rock in a white explosion. Eating at a random pizza place off the beaten touristy path. Feeling the gratitude of a man who enjoys my time with no entitlement or expectations. Driving from North Shore in his truck with the windows down, listening to Tyler the Creator after spending a nice afternoon together. Pure bliss. Trying to stop myself from wondering what's next, or what now. and just try to fully feel this experience. The longing is what I love, the not getting everything all at once. It's something we're so used to in the gay community, so it's refreshing to meet someone who doesn't play into that lifestyle. It's special. Even if I were to never hang out with this guy again, just having this memory of this time is something I will always cherish. Being introduced to new spots on the island, listening to new music, and not worrying about how I'm perceived, feeling free to just be me. I take back what I said about military men in the last podcast, because I found a good one. I hope we get to spend more time together before I leave, but what's meant to be will be. Today felt like a Lana Del Rey song from the Lust for Life album. Nothing sad, just living and loving life in a poetic way. I saw a post today by Charlie XCX that said, "Funny thing about desire, if it's not cruel, then it's not pure." And it got me thinking, desire can be cruel in the way of the object of our desire being ripped from our reality, leaves us feeling empty. But I think if we honor and respect those moments and look on them fondly and with positive thoughts, the universe will share more of those moments with us. So those are my thoughts. Today, really filled this void of connection that I've been lacking. Because a lot of encounters or relationships or anything like that, a lot of them on the dating apps feel transactional, and I hate that. I hate when there's this expectation of something instead of just going with the vibes and living in the moment. And I was also thinking about how a lot of times gay guys or bisexual guys or whatever you want to call it, we just have very short-term goals. And this guy, when I was talking to him, said that he doesn't kiss on the first date, which I respect a lot. And it's unusual to hear that, because a lot of the times it goes from 0 to 100 real quick with gay guys. And then you have this lustful moment, and then you never see them again. And that has to do something to you psychologically, I would imagine. So yeah, those are just my thoughts on that. Tell me how you feel in the comments below. I would love to know your opinion on this. Even straight people, I don't discriminate. I'm not gonna judge you if you're straight. It's okay. This is a safe space for you. But yeah, I would imagine there are struggles and issues with dating in the straight community too, especially in 2025. Things are a lot different now. So yeah, let me know your experiences below. But yeah, today was just a really refreshing day, and I wasn't planning on filming a podcast today or tonight, but I like doing things when it's fresh on my mind. I edited the White Lotus podcast, the White Lotus vlog very quickly, more quickly than I normally would, just because I was really inspired after doing it, and I wanted to do it while it's fresh on my mind. And I even filmed the outro at at the Four Seasons, instead of doing it back home like I normally would, just because I want it to be as genuine as possible and as real as possible. That's what I've really been challenging myself with, is being more genuine, open, and transparent. Because that's something that I've struggled with in the past. And I've noticed the more I lean into just being me, the better it's received. So, I'm interested to see what people think of the White Lotus video. That was definitely an experience. And the guy I was talking to today was sharing some of his experiences with dating. And he was telling me about how he went to like the shops in Waikiki with this guy, and the guy wanted to go to Lululemon, and he was kind of saying how he felt out of place, um, because that's not like his cup of tea. Like, it sounded like the guy, and he was telling me that he could tell that the guy came from a lot of money, and he was telling me that like the people in North Shore, he could just tell by listening to their conversations or talking with them, that they have a lot of money, and I can agree with that. The North Shore is very bougie. um, but yeah, he was talking about feeling out of place in the Lululemon, and I felt that way at the Four Seasons. Um, which I don't really care what people think of me for the most part. Of course, there's always going to be times when we feel vulnerable, but I can fit in with a lot of different kinds of people, just based on even like my upbringing. Like, I knew people who had a lot of money, and I knew people who lived in the ghetto, and I can feel comfortable anywhere. Um, but I did feel out of place at the Four Seasons, especially like arriving there. Well, just like the whole time, I guess. Like there were a lot of things that, like unwritten rules that I didn't know, or like unwritten things about resorts, I guess, that I didn't know. Like the door key was like a little bracelet, and when I was at the pool talking to this one guy, I was like, "Oh, what's that bracelet thing?" Thought it was like a Disney pass kind of thing. But he's like, "Oh, it's the room key." It's like, "Oh," because I hadn't checked in at that point. And then, like at the pool, there were no chairs available, so I just went to a cabana and just sat myself down. I'm like, well, no one's using this, so I'll just sit here. And then the guy came over and was like, "Oh, did you want to rent a cabana today?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I just didn't see any other chairs, so I just sat here. I thought it was for anyone." I looked it up later, and to rent the cabana for a day is $1,200, which is insane. But yeah, you had to like reserve a chair there. It's like a table at a restaurant, which, I mean, it was cool, but I had no idea what I was doing. And like people were like looking at me like when I first got there, like I don't know, but I was like, whatever. I just got in the pool. But it was not my crowd. However, it was cool to experience it. But yeah, I did feel kind of out of place. What else was there? Oh, like the whole check-in and check-out process. Like, I'm used to going to Airbnbs, and it's a lot different than being at a hotel. Um, but what was nice, there were some things that were really nice. Like, as soon as I stepped out of my Uber, they came and grabbed my luggage, tagged it, took it away, put my name on it, and by the time I officially checked in, my luggage was in the room, and it was that was very nice. They were asking if I wanted help taking the luggage from the room, and I was like, I just have one carry-on bag, I'm good. But yeah, I think it's good to see different perspectives in the world. Um, it's very eye-opening to see how different people live. Um, but I don't feel any differently about myself after that experience, which I think is the most important part. But yeah, I felt very comfortable with this guy and didn't feel the need to impress him or be different or change anything about myself, which is a very good sign. Um, and I think it says a lot about how your nervous system feels when you're around new people, whether it be friends or relationships or dates or whatever. Um, I think it's important to see how you feel around them. Like, are you anxious? Are you nervous? And at first, I was kind of nervous. Well, here's the thing. So, we made plans to hang out on Saturday, back on Monday. So, that 5 days. And in the gay world, I fully was ready for him to just like ditch me and like be like, oh no, I can't hang out or whatever, because that happens so often. Gay guys can be flaky. But and we didn't really talk in between then. But I hit him up yesterday and was like, hey, just checking in about hanging out. And then he came and picked me up, which check mark, green check. Um, I gave him gas money and I bought his meal. And he, like, when we were paying, the guy was like, is it together or separate? And then we kind of just like paused and I was like, I'll get it. And then he was like, oh, what's your Venmo? I can Venmo you the money for it. And I was like, don't worry about it. And he was like, oh, thank you. And that was a green flag because, as we know, the Slovenian guy didn't say thank you, which was, eh. But yeah, and the way I felt after the day, we drove in his truck with the windows down, and it took me back to like how I felt in high school going to the beach with my friends in my truck with the windows down and playing the Tyler the Creator song. Like that specific moment, just pure bliss. And I'm so thankful for that. And I would love more of those types of experiences. So if you hear me, universe, I would love more of that. Um, but I think part of it is setting harsher boundaries, I guess, and kind of not letting people treat you in ways that you don't want to be treated and being more firm. So that's what I'm going to be working on because I really enjoyed the way I was treated today. Um, so I kind of know how that feels now and kind of can use that to help guide me. So yeah, I hope you got something from this stream of conscious, but sometimes like the pieces just come together and sometimes it's hard to articulate. But that's why I write things down a lot. And that's why this podcast is called Wisdom Wayne, because I'm good at using my own experiences and observing other people and kind of drawing conclusions. And I like to help other people find their way through life. And I try to give the best advice possible. And if there's something I know or something I've observed or experienced and I feel like it can help someone, then why not? You know? So that's kind of the whole point of this podcast. I would like to use what I've learned to help other people. So yeah. And I'm still learning myself. I think we never stop learning. Or if we do stop learning, then that's when life gets boring and miserable. So yeah. Like I learned something new today from this guy. And he told me that the like lighter or white sand on the beaches in Hawaii are from Australia. The sand is from Australia. The only natural sand is the black sand, which I never knew that. So it's really cool. So yeah. Cheers to great experiences, great people, and attracting what we want in life. Until next time, aloha.
All I ever really wanted was my story to be told.